Good? Cool. Live from Firestone Stadium, it's the Mid-American Conference Tournament as the number 5 seed Western Michigan Broncos take on the number 4 seed Ohio Bobcats. Hi everybody, Ian Tank alongside Joey Arietta. Joey, MAC tournament finally here, and we're all ready to go here from Firestone Stadium.
Well, we're just excited. We got the first 2 ball games in earlier today, and the weather has cooperated today. Of course, on Monday, when most of the teams began to arrive in Akron, we had another one of those monsoon-type evenings, so we were a little bit concerned. Put the tarp on the field at noon on Monday and was able to stave off the rain, and were able to get the crew together. Some folks from the Kent State facilities helping us out with the City of Akron crew, and we've been able to get through 2 of the games, and looks like this third game will start off the evening actually very nicely.
As Western Michigan winners earlier today against Toledo 8-0, a run rule in the 6th. Here's how their lineup will look. Meredith Whitney will lead things off. Christina Pagozzi will bat second. Terry Buchanan will bat third. First pitch to Whitney is a called ball, 1-0 count. Gracie Barstad will bat 4th. Courtney Rossi will bat 5th. Deanna Patterson will bat 6th. And Alicia Hanshu will bat 7th. Jennifer Schechter will bat 8th. And Bree Russell will bat 9th. The 0-1. On the outside, missed the corner, 1-1 the count. For Ohio out in the field, it's Lashley in left, Van Worgen in center, Erise in right, Vasquez at third, Joseph at short, Mogart at second, King at first, and Gellerman behind the plate. Pitching today for the Bobcats, Lauren McClary, 17-15 on the year, a 3.32 ERA. In 204 2/3 inning, has struck out 198. Joey, I think if you look at this, you have 2 teams really playing well at the right time right now. This could be a great matchup here in Game 3 of the MAC tournament.
Well, I was in Athens on Sunday as a guest of the Ohio Bobcats, and this was an enthusiastic group that defeated Kent State in 2 games over the weekend. They, as I described them, are a feisty group led by their coaching staff, who just really has a good feel for this group this year. And I looked for them to
right up the middle and through. Whitney's on with a single here to start things off for the Broncos.
I think you're going to find 2 very offensive teams here going on. As we looked at in the past year with Western Michigan, when they come up into the field, they've got a pretty good 1-2 punch, particularly with Meredith Whitney, who you just saw. Their pitcher, she's an offensive threat, and she certainly has been one of the most outstanding pitchers in the Mid-American Conference the last several years. This should be an outstanding contest between these 2 very, very aggressive and very excitable group of players.
The pitch is bunted back, 0-1 the count. McClary, again, 17-15 year. 2 strikeouts away from strikeout 200 on the season, and quite an impressive feat for her. And let's see how she can do today against the Broncos. The 0-1 outside to Pagozzi, 1-1 the count.
I had an opportunity on Sunday evening to speak at the seniors banquet in Athens, and if you look at their record book, this particular 2012 team has rewritten the OU record book.
As we talked about that, team home runs broken with 45 this year. Individual home runs by Raven King and Lauren Gellerman. That one's fouled back, 1-2 count. At 13, singles, as we talked about the single season strikeout mark broken by Lauren McClary at that 198. We can go on and on here. But most importantly for them, they're at Firestone as the 4 seed and trying to move on to the NCAA tournament. The 1-2. Outside corner, strike 3. McClary's first strikeout of the afternoon. 1 down here in the top of the first. As Tara Buchanan will step in for the Broncos. 311 average for Buchanan, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs on the year at the .556 slugging percentage. The pitch. Inside corner, strike 1.
The Broncos, as you well know and reported earlier, they are the defending champions, and it doesn't really matter, as we've talked many, many times before, that you throw all the records out, you throw everything that has been done up to this point, and it's really the team that really gets on fire and gets their game going offensively and defensively and gets some great pitching from their pitching staff in the circle.
Nice steady wind here today here at Firestone, going from right to left, coming in a bit to 2-1. Buchanan is a bit inside, 3-1 to count. Western comes into today 25-23. They finished second in the West at 11-9 MAC mark. Ohio's played very strong at the end of the year. 28-27 is their record with a 14-8 mark as the 3-1's fouled off by Buchanan, which they swept Buffalo and then they swept Kent State at the end of the year, Joey, and they did it going away. It was very impressive to see that offense really rolling, and when you have a pitcher like McCleary, good things can happen for you even in a 1-0 type game when you got a pitcher like that, but they haven't needed
Third baseman, number 9, Gracie Barstead.
I think what's going to be very interesting about these two teams is that they do have great pitching in both of their starting pitchers, but these are both very, very offensive-minded teams, and both coaching staffs always stress the defense as well, but these young ladies can really hit the ball, as evidence.
Fly ball left field, that will drop the castle all over the wall. Ronnie Feather scores Russo. Here comes Buchanan. She will score. 2-0 Broncos here in the top of the second inning on a double by Gracie Barstead, picking up where she left off a year ago. Early momentum here, and Joey, the fact is, Western played earlier today. They beat Toledo 8-0 in the sixth inning. Is there a carryover of momentum? I know it's a different team and all, but you got to feel that maybe some of that bat magic they had going on maybe, coming into play here early on.
Well, they had a very good offensive performance this morning, and I think the fact that, they were literally walked away with the game at 8-0 at the end of 6 innings. But Western Michigan is traditionally a very, very aggressive team. They're aggressive hitters. They're aggressive on the bases. So Kathy is going to get them going very early. Now with the 2-run lead, as they start right off here, this is going to be. I think this could be shape of what is actually going to happen from this point on from both of these teams once they get in the batter's box. There's going to be a lot of offense.
As Rosso will step in. Runner on second, that's Barstead, and an 0-1 counter now. Rosso, the left fielder for these Broncos. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1 to count. A little different feel here at Firestone, Joey, as we've been accustomed to the press box and everything at Lee Jackson Field. Nice, open, loud environment here at Firestone. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1 to count.
Well, the fun about being here at Firestone Stadium is that we actually get to sit in the crowd and get to feel from the enthusiasm of both of the fans from both teams. And that's a pretty exciting feeling because of the emotion that we can capture in the audio portion of this telecast. It's really, I think, exciting for the fans to be able to feel the emotion, the excitement of these players and the fans here in the ballpark.
2-2 count now on Rosso. Barstead at second, the pitch. Looped up on the infield. Under it is the third baseman, Vasquez, and she will bring it in. 2 down now here in the top of the first inning.
Number 13,
as Deanna Patterson will step in for the Broncos. We saw Western Michigan in early April, Joey. 2 very competitive games where we saw the strength possibly of the Western Michigan pitching. And we, thought then the first pitch to Patterson's a called strike. We thought then, if they can really, obviously the bats will be effective, but the 1-2 combination that they have, you're not going to be able to have Meredith Whitney all throughout this tournament. You're going to have to go to a second pitcher, and the fact that they have a pretty good second is going to root well. That one's going to be blooped in the center. Rounding third and trying to score is Barstead. Put at the plate. Not in time. Run down the second. Not in time. 3-0 Broncos here in the first as Patterson gets a RBI double.
Designated player number 6, Alicia Hanshu.
Nice piece of hitting there. And as you said, Joey, Western being very aggressive on the base pass here early on.
Well, it's either be aggressive or go home. So it's a situation where you're going to try to get every opportunity that you can put a run up because, when you look across the board and you look at the Bobcats, they can come at you. And as we started to allude to all the records that this particular team has set in OU history, the Broncos are going to have a rough time defending against them as well. But Whitney, no question, she is one of the best in the league, and she's proven that time in and time again.
And Becca Schemberger, the number 2 for this team, is who we were alluding to before, and it'll be interesting to see if they use her, or when they use her, as it's a 4-day marathon here at Firestone. If you already had 2 games today, you got to think that possibly you're going to need her Thursday or Friday, or even Saturday when you got to play the best out of 3.
It just depends on what happens to them. They won the first game with her. It depends on what happens this game. I'm sure that she's going to want the ball regardless.
Slap to first, caught there by King, and Western Michigan gets 3 on the board here in the top of the first. They lead Ohio 3-0, middle of the first inning.
Center fielder number 15, Jillian Von Wagner.
Back here, Firestone Stadium, bottom of the first inning. Western Michigan leading Ohio 3-0 as they jumped out with 2 doubles in the first and brought home 3 runs against Laura McCleary. Here's how Ohio's lineup will look. Jillian Van Wagenen will lead things off. Brooke Morgart will bat second. Alexis Joseph will bat third. Lauren Gellerman will bat fourth. Raven King will be in the 5-hole. Alexandra Vasquez will be in the 6th spot as Van Wagenen will foul things off. Adrian Gebel, the designated player, will bat 7th. Elizabeth E. Rise, the right fielder, will bat 8th. And Erin Lashley will bat 9th, the left fielder, against Meredith Whitney and the Western Michigan Broncos. The 1-1 catches the inside quarter, 1-2. Meredith Whitney coming into today's game, 17-12 on the year, a 2.27 ERA, 210 strikeouts, opponents batting a .213 average against her this season. The 1-2, bunted right back to the mound, picked up by Whitney, throw to first in time, 1 down here in the first inning. Out on the field for the Broncos, Rosso in left, Schechter in center, Russell in right, Barstead at third, Pagosi at short, Patterson at second, Buchanan at first. Behind the plate will be Carlson and Meredith Whitney in the circle for these Broncos. The First pitch to Morgart is a called strike, 0-1 the count. So Joey, nice start here for the Broncos. One down here in the bottom of the inning as well.
Well, and Whitney kept Jillian Van Wangen off the bases. As you well know, she is career stolen base record 69 to second all time. And she has the single season stolen base record with 30, which is now tied for fourth. So the fact that Whitney was able to set her down was a huge out for the Broncos in this first inning.
Whitney pitched earlier today. She went all 6 innings for the Broncos. Found herself in some jams early on, but was able to work through those. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2 the count. Just a note, in game 2 today, Central Michigan defeated Kent State 2-1, a very exciting game. And Central moves on to face Bowling Green here later on tonight following this one. So a full count now on Morgart. He's batting .282 on the season with 19 RBIs and a .344 slugging percentage. The 3-2. Fly ball left center. Under it is Rosso, and she'll bring it in. 2 down here in the first inning, as Alexis Joseph will step in for the Bobcats.
Shortstop, number 5, Alexis.
Well, we got an opportunity to watch Alexis Joseph do her thing out there at shortstop. 306 hitter, just does it all for the Ohio Bobcats.
And OU coming into today 28-27, playing hot ball of late, but Western's the one jumping out to a 3-0 lead here in the first. The pitch to Joseph is swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Joey, Western defending tournament champions, as you know. Meredith Whitney defending tournament MVP. Is there a confidence level there as well for this team?
Well, I think coming into Firestone Stadium after you have, a championship under your belt already, I think they're used to the conditions. That certainly at this particular moment, the conditions on the field are much, much better than they were a year ago. We had quite a bit of rain that befell this conference tournament a year ago. But Whitney is a gamer. This is a young lady who, she may push you to the full counts, but when it comes push come to shove, you can count on her to bear down and come through with what she needs to do to set the opponents down.
1-2 count now to Joseph. The pitch. Outside, 2-2 the count now. Of course, as we talked about the wind earlier, it's completely shifted and it's going straight out the center field here, and you got to believe with the power hitters that OU has, that may come into play. That one's going to be slapped to short, caught there by Pagozzi, and Ohio goes in order here in the first. They trail Western Michigan 3-0 after one.
Comes for Ohio.
Back here at Firestone Stadium, top of the second inning, Western Michigan leading the Ohio Bobcats 3-0. For your latest news, notes, and statistics, log on to mash-sports.com, the official website of the Mid-American Conference. And we'll be back tomorrow and Friday and all of Championship Saturday, bringing you these live streams of the Mid-American Conference Tournament here at Firestone Stadium. And the pitch to Schechter is on the inside for ball 1-0 the count. Center fielder, 1-0, is caught on the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Jennifer Schechter only batting a 178 average coming into the day, but let's see if she can start turning that around here at Firestone. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1 the count now.
Well, we're very excited, the Akron Racers, to present this Mid-American Conference tournament via live stream from Firestone Stadium.
Smacked in the center. That will drop for a single. And Western has leadoff batter on again here in the top of the second inning.
It's amazing. They have come out firing. I don't know what they did before this game, but they started off the day with the 8-0 victory over Toledo, and they have just continued to roll right through this lineup.
So Bree Russell will step in, the right fielder for these Western Michigan Broncos. The pitch. Outside corner for strike one from McCleary. 0-1 the count. Beautiful backdrop now here at Firestone Stadium with the Bridgestone and building. It's just total change of scenery here. The 0-1 swung on and missed. And props to Joey and your staff for getting this stadium all ready to go, even with that monsoon that happened on Monday night. The field looks great, and the fans are happy here at Firestone Stadium. The 0-2 pitch from McCleary. Fouled back.
Well, we're pretty proud of Bridgestone America's brand new facility, really, that sits in pretty much left field. The brand new parking lot, the surface lot that we have now that is adjacent to Firestone Stadium for the fans. It's just a beautiful, beautiful picturesque scene from where we sit atop of Firestone Stadium here in just below the brush box.
1-2 count now to Russell. It's Moore and McCleary trying to battle through this one again. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike three. Russell has her second strikeout of the afternoon. One down here in the top of the second. Back to the top of the order with Meredith Whitney, who led things off with a single here today and came around to score on that Gracie Barstad double. The pitch. Inside, 1-0 the count. Should be good weather all throughout the weekend as well, knock on wood. The 1-0 is on the inside corner, 1-1 the count. Hoping for a first time in a long time non-rain-soaking MAC tournament here, Joey.
I can tell you that there has never been a tournament.
Chopped down the first base line, that will stay fair, and the throw to first not in time. Schechter moves up the second. Whitney safe at first. So 2 on, 1 out for Western Michigan as Pagozzi will step in for the Broncos.
Almost a full cut, just a little dribbler that just stayed in fair territory, and it was just almost like a perfect bunt.
Yeah.
But Meredith on board on first base for the second time.
First pitch, Pagozzi's outside, 1-0 the count.
There's no question that the Broncos came to play this morning. They have continued to rack up the hits and the runs into this contest now with 11 runs so far in what is essentially 7 innings. Six from this morning and 1 now.
Stat. Absolutely impressive stat. And 7 1/3 innings, you have racked up 11 runs and maybe some more. That's going to be chopped, hit off the glove of McCleary. She'll pick it up, throw to first, not in time. Bases loaded, one out for Tara Buchanan now. And you look out there and you see Alexis Joseph's going to bring in her infield now and try to calm things down here. As you got to believe this wasn't the most ideal of starts here for the Bobcats.
No, and I think it's a good move to regroup, get the players all in the circle, and let's try to tell each other their assignments. You got loaded bases. Let's try to get that second out. Let's minimize the damage. These are the kinds of things that you need to deal with at this point. What do you do when you get the ball? Who do you throw to? And let's try not to make any additional mistakes that will cost us more runs.
Buchanan walked in the first, came around and scored on the Barstead double. The pitch from McCleary. Outside by a hair, 1-0 count. I just like it a little better out here, Joey. I must say, you get a more feel of the game. You hear the teams doing their cheers. The 1-0 outside, 2-0 count.
Well, I really enjoy, I've done a lot of broadcasting from Firestone Stadium, and you really kind of get pumped up when you're sitting in these seats watching these games. You get a real feel for the fans.
2-0. That is in the strike zone, 2-1.
I want to take the opportunity quickly here to thank all my friends back at the University of Akron who are working. My crew that worked with me with the Zips has moved over here to Firestone Stadium to bring you this live stream from Firestone Stadium. Racers providing all the equipment and all the amenities to put this together, but the staff from the University of Akron appreciate it.
That's being lined right to second. The play at second base not in time, but nice play there by Morgart to get Buchanan out as they almost got Meredith Whitney at second base, but unable to do so. 2 down now as Gracie Barstad will step in for WMU.
Well, that was a good play in that she caught the line drive, but was not too quick at trying to get rid of the ball over there to Alexis Joseph because you just don't want to be throwing that ball into the outfield.
0-1 count now on Barstead. 2 down here, top of the second inning. Western Michigan leading OU 3-0. The 0-1. Just a bit off, 1-1 the count.
OU defense needs to tighten it up, try to gun down this next out and get out of this inning and leave all 3 of these Broncos sitting up there on the bases.
The 1-1 in the dirt, nice stop there by Gellerman. 2-1 the count now.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Gellerman behind the plate. She's pretty good, but she got a gun for an arm too, and now you don't want to step off the bases too far because she'll go after you.
Chop foul right off the OU dugout. 2-2 the count now. Big pitch upcoming here from McCleary. Can she get out of this bases loaded jam with no damage done? And got to think there'll be a huge confidence booster for this Ohio University Bobcat team. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. 3-2 the count now. On the same front, if you're Western Michigan, you want to possibly break this game wide open here early on and do some damage. The 3-2. That one's fouled off. We'll stay at 3-2.
Well, a base hit will probably plate you 2 and then put you up 5-zip at the end of this particular second inning, going actually into the bottom of the second inning. This would really be a huge hit for the Broncos.
3-2, chop right back to the mound, picked up by McCleary, throws the first in time, and she gets out of the bases loaded jam. No harm done by the Broncos, but still 3-0 WMU, middle of the second inning. Back here at Firestone Stadium, bottom of the second inning as Western Michigan leads Ohio 3-0. Be sure to get your 2012 MAC Softball Championship apparel on sale now at www.mac-sports.com. Find a full line of MAC and MAC school gear by logging on now. That's www.mac-sports.com. So Gellerman will lead things off here in the second inning for the Bobcats against Meredith Whitney, and the first pitch is a ball on the outside, 1-0 the count. Lauren Gellerman batting .336 on the year, and you said you were very impressed with her last weekend. She has 13 home runs on the season.
Yeah, I think that she's a solid player, offensively and defensively. I like what I see with her behind the plate. I like the fact that she is very aggressive. She doesn't allow the base runners any movement. She lets them know that she's watching.
The 1-1 swung on and missed. 1-2 the count now.
On the other hand, you have to be confident that if you're going to let that ball fly, you got to make sure that your defense is going to catch it on you. So that's a good combination of the alertness behind the plate as well as the alertness at the bases.
The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. Count stays at 1-2.
Of course, she and Raven King tied with 13 home runs apiece this season.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Raven King on deck for these Bobcats. The 1-2 to Gellerman. High, 2-2 the count. And you have your 4 and 5 batters batting .664 and .660 in the slugging percentage. You're doing some damage on the offensive end.
Well, I'm just checking my notes here, and the individual home run record at 13 for these two young ladies.
5-ball right field line, and Russell can't get to it. So count stays at 1-2.
Great diving effort by Russell to try to get to that ball and snag it before it hit the ground. But let me reiterate about King and Gellerman. The prior mark for home runs in a season was 8.
Yeah.
And they crushed that. They both had 13.
When he looks in, the 2-2. Outside by a hair. 3-2 the count now to Gellerman. As Meredith Whitney just missed that fastball on the outside corner.
Well, you know, Meredith Whitney doesn't want to give her too much to look at, because when you've got to face both Gellerman and King in the same...
High ball right field. Russell goes back, and she'll be able to make the catch as Gellerman just missed that one. So one down here in the second inning with Raven King stepping in.
I'm sure she would have loved to have that one back, because she really kind of half-fisted it and really got it all the way out there to Russell in the outfield, but just a little bit more, and it would have been gone at the 210 mark out there in right field.
Meredith Whitney looks in to Raven King to pitch. Outside corner, strike one. As you said, Raven King coming into today, .333 average, 13 home runs, 40 RBIs, and on-base percentage of .464. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Strike two.
She not only has had 40 RBIs, she has actually scored 42 runs as well.
Yeah.
Just a stellar performance by King this year.
The 0-2 pitch to King. Outside with the fastball, 1-2 to count. Again, tonight, Bowling Green will take on Central Michigan. The Chippewas defeating Kent State earlier today, 2-1. The 1-2. Outside again, 2-2 the count. And Coach Linder's Kent State Golden Flash is kind of on a downward spiral right now. They have dropped a lot in a row.
Yeah, I believe 5 in a row, but I want to tell you, I watched Kent at Akron. I watched them at OU.
2-2 swung on and missed. First strikeout of the afternoon for Whitney. 2 down here.
I thought that they played today more like the Kent State teams I'm used to seeing play than I saw previously in those 4 games. So today, they were down 1, came back to tie the game. Of course, Central Michigan went on to win the game 2-1. But I liked what I saw from Kent State today. They appeared to be the same team I'm used to seeing with that fight and grit that they have had under Coach Linder.
As Alexander Vasquez will step in for the Bobcats. 0-1 count on her. She fouled off the first pitch. Your thoughts on Central Michigan? Of course, they're getting the 2-1 win today. The 0-1's outside. A 1-1 count.
Well, my thoughts begin with Coach Margot Yonker. She's one of the best ever in the MAC. She's taken her teams into the NCAA tournament. She's been with the United States national team.
1-1's on the outside corner, 1 and 2.
I can tell you that Coach Yonker is going to have that team ready to play again when they have to suit up for this evening's game.
1 and 2 count now to Vasquez. The pitch. Swung out and missed, strike 3. Whitney strikes out 2 here in the second as Western leads Ohio 3-0 after 2.
Second inning, moving to the top of the third.
Back here, Firestone Stadium, me and Tech alongside Joey Arrieta as the Western Michigan Broncos lead Ohio 3-0 here in the top of the third. Mid-American Conference would like to thank our corporate partners for their support of this year's MAC tournament. First Energy, Marathon, Cooper Tires, Holiday Inn, State Farm, and Cleveland Clinic Sports Health. Thanks for their support for this year's tournament. So Courtney Rosa will lead things off. 0 for 1 today. She lined out, and she will get on here with a single to right field here in the third inning. 3 out of 3 for Western Michigan, Joey, and getting their leadoff batters on.
Nice piece of hitting by Russo. She just basically didn't try to muscle that ball through. She just stuck the bat out, caught it on the back part of the plate, and just pushed it into right field.
So Diana Patterson will step in. She had a double that scored Barstad back in the first inning. Pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. Western defending MAC tournament champions as they will try to get back into the tournament this year. And, of course, the winner of this game, Joey, will take on the number 1 seed. That will be bunted right in the front of the mound, and it's picked up by the catcher, Gellerman, thrown over the first in time, but Rosso will move over to second on the sacrifice by Patterson.
Nice sacrifice bunt to move the runner in scoring position. Patterson really just really almost caught the ball and dumped it right in front of the plate.
The pitch, a slap fouled on the third base line by Hanshu. 0-1 the count. Again, the winner of this game will move on to face the number 1 seed Ball State Cardinals. 5 o'clock here tomorrow. And the Ball State, regular season champions, the MAC. Down there scouting out who they'll face here in Game 7 of the tournament tomorrow at 5.
Well, Ball State just had an absolutely fabulous year. You talk about an offense. We have an offense waiting to see on the Ball State side of the field. It is just incredible, the offensive output from the Ball State team throughout this season, winning the West and the overall MAC championship.
Your East winners this year, Miami. And that one will be driven in the gap in the left center field and will get all the way to the wall. Rounding third and scoring is Rosso Handshoes in the second with a double. 4-0 Western Michigan here in the top of the third inning.
It is amazing the aggressive sticks that the Broncos have had early on in this game. They are just continuing to unroll at the attack at the plate. Each and every one of them is just really got a mindset that they're going to go and really take it to the Bobcats, and they definitely have in this first game, picking up 7 hits, 7 solid hits.
And with that, it looks like McCleary's day is done, and we'll have a change of pitchers. We'll get that change to you after this break. Back here at Firestone Stadium, top of the third inning, as Western Michigan leading Ohio 4-0 in a pitching change for the Bobcats as Kalen Clark will come in and pitch for OU. And Lauren McCleary, her afternoon
At the plate for Western
possibly
Michigan,
could be over.
center field number 2, Jennifer
She's
Cheddar.
responsible for the runner at second, gave up 4 on 7 hits in 2 1/3 innings of work.
Certainly not, I'm sure, the performance that she was hoping to have tonight, but good move at this point. Obviously, the Broncos are really on fire here, and particularly with her on the mound.
That'll be chopped to third, picked up by Vasquez. The throw to first is in time. 2 down here in the third as Bree Russell will step in for the Broncos. Again, I was saying right before that, that double by Handshoe, Miami, the Red Hawks,
Right fielder number 22,
by
Bree Russell.
a certain pretty good pitcher of the MAC, Miss Simpson,
Yes.
winning the East Division, coming from behind in that category as Bowling Green dropped 2 over the weekend at Ball State. Throw to first is in time. OU gets out of it, but they give up 1 here in the top of the third inning. They trail 4-0 coming back. Back here at Firestone Stadium, bottom of the third inning, Western Michigan leading Ohio 4-0. And OU trying to figure out the mystery that is Meredith Whitney. Is so far so good for Meredith as she's pitched
Leading off the
two
bottom of the
scoreless
third inning
innings.
for Ohio.
She struck out two
Designated player
Bobcats.
number 13, Adrian Gabley.
As Adrian Gabley will step in, the designated player for OU.
Well, she turned in a great performance earlier today at the 11 o'clock game, and now certainly has, as much as the offense has continued to roll, so has Meredith Whitney in the circle, has done an outstanding job. Not really giving up much, certainly no runs at this point.
And the 0-1 is on the outside, 1-1 the count. And we were talking about Jess Simpson before. She was named MAC Pitcher of the Year. MAC Freshman of the Year went to Jamie Curtis of Bowling Green, who we will see later on tonight. And then the MAC Player of the Year was Jennifer Gilbert from Ball State. And congratulations to Shannon Salzberg, MAC Coach of the Year. And as we've done all throughout the year, the University of Akron games got to give a congratulations. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike three. And one down here in the third as Erise will step in for
Right
Ohio.
fielder, number 7, Elizabeth Iris.
Saying, we got to congratulate Alyssa Burkheimer, first baseman for the Zips, all MAC first team, as her 10 home runs were a large contribution to that award. Bunted and throw to first, gets Iris. Two down here in the third inning.
You know, Lauren McClary just left the ball game for OU, but notwithstanding a great freshman season, a member of the all-freshman Mid-American Conference team. We really have a number of people. Alexis Josephs on the second team from Ohio University, as Lauren McCleary also was named to that second team, and Jill Vanderwegen as well. Raven King from Ohio University. So the Bobcats have racked up a lot of very nice awards in the Mid-American Conference this season.
The pitch, up and away, count now 1-1. Again, freshman of the year, Jamie Curtis. Pitcher of the year, Miami University's Jessica Simpson. Player of the year, Jennifer Gilbert from Ball State. And then Shannon Salzberg was the coach of the year. Well deserved by her, as her team was about one game away from winning the East. Were unable to do so as they went to the red-hot Ball State Cardinals over the weekend, and because they lost two and Miami won both of their games. Miami won the East and got the 2 seed. The 1-2, pop foul. Count stays at 1-2. You gotta believe, and no bias here because we've covered Akron all year, but East a little stronger than the West this season in terms of top-heavy teams, because you gotta believe Miami will be in the thick of it this weekend. Bowling Green's gonna have a say. OU gets trailing 4-0, but they have enough bats in their lineup. Now they slap the third, hits off of Barstead, and Lashley's on for OU's first base runner of the afternoon. They will count that as a hit. So 1 out with 2 out, back to the top of the order. As Julian Van Wagenen will step in for OU.
I want to take a quick look down the first team all-MAC list. A couple of young ladies in this particular game. Obviously, Meredith Whitney.
Up in the air, and that will be caught by Carlson, and that will be out number 3 here in the third inning. Western still leading OU 4-0 after 3.
For Ohio in the
Back here, Firestone Stadium, top of the 4th inning. Western Michigan leading OU here in the MAC tournament 4-0 as Meredith Whitney will step in. She's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Pitch is outside from Kaylin Clark, who came in after a rough outing by starting pitcher Lauren McCleary, who went 2 1/3 and gave 4 runs on 7 hits. The pitch outside corner for strike 1-1 the count.
Yeah, you really have to tip your hat to Meredith Whitney. This young lady, is really a complete ball player. She runs, hits, and pitches, and plays great defense.
Chop to first. King's there, and she'll tag first base. 1 down here in the 4th inning as Christina Pagozzi will step in for Western Michigan.
You certainly can understand that reason for Meredith Whitney's selection to the first team of the All-MAC team, as well as we talked about Lauren Gellerman from Ohio, also a first-team All-MAC selection this season.
So 1 down. The pitch to Pagozzi. Outside, 2-0 the count.
I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, Bears repeating that Ohio University placed 4 on the second team of the All-MAC.
2-0, outside corner, 2-1 the count.
That being Joseph McCleary, Van Wagen, and Raven King.
So, as we said, OU, rough start of things here, but, don't count them out at all.
Well, I certainly wouldn't think we would count them off when you're sitting there with 2 young ladies who have both hit 13 home runs each this year. Raven King has had an outstanding season, as you well know. Alexis Joseph has had a great season. Lauren Gellerman. I mean, the 13 home runs, 26 between those 2 young ladies. I would say don't count the Bobcats out.
So 3-2 count now to Pagozzi. Clark looks in. The pitch. Outside corner, strike 3. That's Clark's first strikeout of the afternoon. 2 down here in the 4th with Tara Buchanan stepping in. She's 0 for 1 today. Walked and came around and scored. And lined out to second base in the 2nd. The pitch from Clark. Outside corner for strike 1, 0-1 the count. Again, winner moves on to face Ball State tomorrow at 5 o'clock here at Firestone Stadium. The 0-1. Up and in, 1-1 the count. Of course, Joey, part of the Akron Racers, and Title IX night coming up here pretty soon, and we'll get to that after this 1-1 pitch. Flying down the first base line. You've been working really hard with that, and opening day coming up. You want to talk about a couple events coming for the Akron Racers?
Well, opening night, June 7th here, we'll welcome the Carolina Diamond, the newest team in our league. We're excited to begin the new season again here at Firestone Stadium.
1-2, just a bit outside, 2-2 the count.
I think the high point of our season certainly is going to be the June 23rd game against the Chicago Bandits, because that is the day that's signing the 40th anniversary of Title IX.
2-2, chop foul.
And the opportunities for women in sports and for the growth of athletics across the board, from the very young even to the professional level where I sit, has been certainly influenced by the Title IX legislation back in 1972. We will mark the day by selecting the 40 top women in Northeast Ohio.
2-2 is low and inside, 3-2 the count now.
Who have either been players, coaches, or administrators or pioneers that have really influenced the success of fast-pitch softball in Northeast Ohio.
3-2 inside. Buchanan works the walk. That's her 2nd today. And Western Michigan has a base runner on with 2 down here. Gracie Barstad will step in. She's 1 for 2 with an RBI double in the first. As we talked last weekend, as Akron took on Kent State, Coach Linder and Coach Jones, 2 possible candidates for that, and great influences on the game of softball all throughout, Ohio and the Mid-America Conference.
Well, I think you're going to find a number of very familiar names that have come through Firestone Stadium that have really contributed to the success of fast pitch softball in Northeast Ohio. As we've discussed before, in Summit County alone, there have been 32 state champions from this area, the most of any county by far in the entire state of Ohio. We will get ready to host the state high school championships in the first part of June.
You're just starting your whole swing of tournaments here.
Yes, it never ends, really.
The 2-0s, an off-speed pitch on the inside corner, 2-1 the count now to Gracie Barstead, last year's MAC MVP, all helping the Broncos reach the NCAA tournament a year ago. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1 the count now. All sorts of high school tournaments taking place here at Firestone all throughout the year. And then this MAC tournament. Then you got the OHSAA tournament, the 3-1, high and away as Barstead works the walk. Back-to-back walks for the Broncos, and 2 on with 2 out.
I have to give a lot of credit to Barstead because, she is a .328 hitter, and, she did, get the RBI double earlier in the game, but she's very patient at the plate. She doesn't, go for things that she knows. She had to go for pitches that she knows that she really doesn't want, and she just draws the walk.
Russo drives it to left. Lashley's under it, and she will make the catch. And Western shows a little threat here in the fourth, but unable to score any runs, but they still lead 4-0 in the middle of the fourth inning. Back here, Firestone Stadium, bottom of the fourth inning. Western Michigan leading Ohio 4-0. Worth noting, these two teams met earlier this season in Athens and split a doubleheader as Western won the first game 5-0 and dropped the second game 4-0. Even as they come here, 5 versus 4 seed, Western being the 5 seed, OU being the 4. As Morgart will lead things off for the Bobcats. She takes the first pitch strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting, Ian, Kathy Leckie, the head coach at Western Michigan, always has...
Fly ball deep right field. That ball is gone. Home run for Brooke Morgart, and the OU fans are on their feet as they try left field. Big hit there for OU to get on the scoreboard, Joey.
Now, a quick look at our stats. I believe that is her first home run of the season. She was hitting .282 coming in to tonight's game, and that is, in fact, her first home run of the season.
First home run, 20th RBI for Morgart, and OU cuts into the lead now of Western Michigan at 4-1, and I was pointing out before the inning, before this half inning, I looked down at the OU fans, and they have their rally caps on already.
Well, like I said, with the long ball hitters that they have in their lineup, I wouldn't count them out yet. Now they've reduced the deficit to 4-1. We got a lot of ball game left to play.
Pitch to Joseph, outside corner, 0-2 the count.
I did get to say about, and I want to, it's worth mentioning, Kathy Leckie, I think, is one of the finest coaches in preparing teams for tournament play.
Yeah.
I've watched her, this I think is the 8th or 9th time we have seen her bring teams into our facility, and she has always got them prepared. They come to compete every time I see them in this tournament.
1-2 count now to Joseph. The pitch. Outside, 2-2 the count. Morgart gets OU on the board here in the bottom of the 4th. Second hit given up by Meredith Whitney. The 2-2. Slap back and foul. Count stays at 2-2.
Get the home run from Morgart in this inning. You've got Joseph to face you. Then you got Kellerman and King coming up yet in this inning.
Whitney looks in. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2 the count.
I think it's really important at this point for OU not to press, but to just try to, see what they can find and try to get some groove on Meredith at Whitney so that they can get back into this game.
Chopped right off of Whitney's glove, picked up by Patterson, throw to first, time! Got her by about a half step. One down here in the bottom of the 4th as Kellerman will step in for the Bobcats.
Well, Joseph really legged it down to first base, but just nipped her before she was able to get across safely. But still just one down here in the 4th inning. Is it the 4th? Yes, top of the 4th inning. Excuse me.
Lauren Gellerman will step in.
We're in the bottom of the 4th.
Check swing, and she got a piece of it. Goes back to the backstop. 0-1 the count.
Oh no, Ian, the sun just rose behind Firestone Stadium. It cut my paper right in half here so I could...
I'll let it slide.
Whoa. I'm going to lean your way so that I can get out of the sun here.
The 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1 the count. As OU's busted out the Thunder Sticks down there, Joey. All part of the atmosphere at Firestone Stadium for the MAC tournament. The 1-1 pitch. Slap back and foul. 1-2 the count now. You gotta love it, Joey. You gotta love it.
You gotta come to play, you gotta come to compete, but you gotta come to have a good time as well. And I think that, if you are going to, stay in this tournament, a lot of it is emotion, a lot of it is excitement, and there's no lack of that on the OU side of the field.
1-2 the count now. The pitch. Slap down to third base line and third. That'll get all the way to the ball. Diamond rounds first, she'll go in the second, and she'll do it standing up. A one-out double for OU. Puts a runner on second. As Raven King will step in now.
Well, Gellerman turned on that inside pitch and just drove it right down the line for that easy double for her.
And Western wants to talk about it a little bit, but you got to give props to OU. As we said, not anywhere near dead here in this one with the offense that they've had and a home run and a double, and you're getting right into the heart of their order now with Raven King.
This game is so much a lot of emotion, and this may be a turning point for the Bobcats, getting the home run, getting the double, from their getting some offense started here. The emotion can switch a little bit, and I think that's certainly why Meredith Whitney needs to bring her fellow teammates together, calm everybody down, and get their emotions in check from their standpoint. But boy, I'll tell you, when this Bobcat group gets going, they're tough to contain.
Tessa Bailey will pinch run for Gellerman here in the fourth. So a little more speed out there for OU. You don't have to get all this back at once now. You got a lot of innings left, but you gotta believe Bobcats want to do a lot of the damage here if they're hardly over. The pitch to King, swung on and missed. For strike one.
You know, you got King at the plate and one swing of the stick, and we got a 4-3 game.
And as we've seen already, ball really carried here today at Firestone. The 0-1. Outside corner for strike two, 0-2 the count.
As you noted earlier, the wind is actually blowing out towards center field. So if you're going to get any help at all from the elements, it would be in that direction.
Whitney looks in. The 0-2. High and away, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Whitney's being very cautious here because she doesn't want to give too much of the ball to King because she will sail it over the fence.
The 1-2. Swung out and missed, strike three. Big strikeout there for Meredith Whitney. Two down here as Alexandria Vasquez will step
Third
in.
baseman, number 9,
for
Alexandria Vasquez.
OU. We talked about Gellerman and King. Vasquez has 4 home runs herself. The pitch, foul back.
And she comes in today to a 331 average, so there's some offense that she can produce here. And I think the big point right here is to try to, for OU, is to try to get that second run. That's a big, important run at this point in the ball game.
The 0-1. Outside, 1-1 the count now. And I look out the right field. Beyond that, I see Bowling Green warming up. They will take on Central Michigan tonight. The winner of that will face Miami tomorrow night. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. Two down here in the fourth. Western leading 4-1 as Brooke Mulgart, second baseman for the Bobcats, able to hit a solo home run in the top or the bottom half of this fourth inning to cut into the Western Michigan lead. And Lauren Gellerman doubled. Tessa Bailey currently pinch running for her at second base. Big run out there at second for the Bobcats. Whitney looks in. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
Now the Bobcat fans are getting those thunder sticks going, trying to very desperately to help Vasquez get the ball out of the infield and bring home their second run.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled right into the Western Michigan dugout. Count stays at 2-2, and I look down there as well, and I see Coach Linder from Kent State doing some scouting right in the heart of the Thunder Sticks. Hopefully she's wearing some earplugs or something down there, because those things can get a bit annoying. I'm not going to lie about that. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. Strikeout number 5 for Meredith Whitney. And Western Michigan leads 4-1 after
Western
4.
Michigan, there's one runner. Fans are reminded that artificial noisemakers, including thunder sticks, are not permitted at the Mid-American Conference Softball Tournament.
Top of the fifth inning.
Artificial noisemakers not permitted.
Here
at the Mid-American Conference
Firestone
Softball
Stadium.
Tournament. Thank you.
We've just been advised by the public address announcer that the Thunder sticks have got to be put down.
It's kind of funny because you had half the fans booing and half the chains
Leading off the
cheering
top
after
of the
that
fifth
one.
inning for Western
I think it was
Michigan,
more of the
second
Western
base, number
Michigan
13,
dugout cheering than
Diana
anything. And Western Michigan leading 4-1. If you're an OU or a Western Michigan fan watching this stream at home and want some more gear for yourself to wear all around the household, be sure to get your 2012 MAC Softball Championship apparel on sale now at www.mac-sports.com. Find a full line of MAC and MAC school gear by logging on now. That's mac-sports.com. Don't forget all men out there. Mother's Day coming up.
Very good, yes.
Because I got the phone call earlier today from my father.
Well, all the moms out there, God bless you for all you do.
Chop to second, picked up, and throw to first by Morgart. One down here in the fifth.
Designated player, number 6, Alicia Hanshoe.
I want to remind the listeners that just in case if you're interested in nominating one of a deserving female player, coach, or administrator from the Northeast Ohio area.
Chopped to short, picked up by Joseph. Throw the first in time to get Hanshoe. Two down here in the fifth inning. Schechter will step in for the Broncos.
Things happen so quickly here, we can't really complete thoughts sometimes. But if you're interested in nominating anyone from this area, Northeast Ohio, that has played, coached, or been an influential person in the growth of fast pitch softball in Northeast Ohio, go to www.akronracers.org and click on the Title IX logo, and you will see the nomination form, and you can send it in and nominate someone from the Northeast Ohio area. There are a tremendous amount of athletes, coaches, administrators that have played in the Mid-American Conference that deserve to be nominated. So if you've got someone in mind, please send it forward at akronracers.org.
1-0 count to Cheddar. The pitch. Inside corner, 1-1 account. Cheddar 1 for 2 today, singled in the second inning. Western leading 4-1 here. 7-hit afternoon for the Broncos. The 1-1 is inside, 2-1.
Yeah, I think since Clark has entered the ball game back in the third inning, she has done, I think, a very good job of containing the explosive Bronco offense.
Pitch. Outside corner, 3-2 the count now. As I said, she came in the third inning after Lauren McCleary went 2 1/3, and since then, Western has unable to get a hit. 3-2. Chop foul. Count stays at 2-2. She's walked 2, but those two were unable to come around and score in the fourth. She's done a really good job of really slowing down this offense. Bloop down the first base line and foul. We'll stay at 3-2.
Here she got Pigozzi to strike out in the fourth inning. Then she gave up the 2 consecutive walks. But other than that, she has really silenced the Western Michigan bats, which were just very, very explosive, on fire in the first 3 innings.
3-2 pitch popped up on the infield, and King's under it. She'll bring it in. And Western Michigan goes 1-2-3 here in the fifth, but still lead 4-1 middle of the fifth inning.
bottom of the 5th inning, number 30, Chelsea Hortman.
Bottom of the 5th inning here. Firestone Stadium intake alongside Joey Arrieta as the Western Michigan Broncos leading Ohio University 4-1 here in the 4-5 matchup of this MAC tournament. And we have a pinch hitter for OU as Chelsea Hortman will pinch hit for the Bobcats. Oh, and 1 count on her. Pitch from Whitney. That one's high. 1-1 the count. Whitney's given up about 2 mistakes, you would think. A home run to Morgart and then a Gellerman double, but that's all the damage she's given up so far. And that all came in the bottom of the 4th pitch. Outside, 2-1 the count now.
Oh, she's pitched a very good ball game. She's come up with the key strikeouts when she's needed to get them against the biggest hitters in Gellerman and King. She's actually been able to contain their sticks quite a bit today. And you know, this Bobcat offense is not easy to contain, and she's done a very effective job against them, as she's just done her entire career as a member of the Western Michigan program.
1-1's on the outside corner, so 1-2 the count now to Hortman. As she'll ask for time and try to regroup a little bit. Back in the box now. The 1-2. Fly ball right field line, and that one goes foul. He got a lot of bat on that one, but couldn't keep it fair. So count stays at 1-2.
You know, if my memory serves me correct about Mid-American Conference records, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Meredith Whitney has gone over 700 strikeouts in her career with the Western Michigan program. That is, an elite group of the MAC pitchers from previous years to join.
1-2, fouled off. 700 strikeouts at any conference is impressive, let alone the Mid-American.
Well, I think she came into tonight's ball game with a 210. She's picked up another 4 in this game, so she's at 214 on the season.
5 strikeouts. So
5, okay, 215 on the.
The 1-2. Strike 3, strikeout number 6 for Meredith Whitney. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Right fielder, number 7, Elizabeth Iris.
Elizabeth Iris will step in for the Bobcats. Strikeout 216 on the season.
Just when we start to, spew out all the accolades for Meredith Whitney, she goes and continues to add to those impressive numbers.
About this conference, and we'll see them this weekend. Jessica Simpson and Meredith Whitney, 2 of the top pitchers in any conference if you look at it, and the young group of pitchers you see now too with this conference, and Johnson from Penn State, obviously Brittany Maurer from Akron, and Cassie Rohr from Toledo. The 0-2 is high and away. You gotta believe this conference really, strong on the pitching side. Obviously, we know the hitting's gonna be there, but you gotta have a strong ace in the circle if you really want to be successful in this conference.
Well, I think the 3 young ladies that you just described, great futures in the Mid-American Conference lie ahead for them. You look at Whitney and Simpson, who have had just absolutely incredible
number 10,
years in the Mid-American Conference, but you look at the new blood that's coming in, and there's excitement that those young ladies are getting an opportunity to pitch so early on in their careers and really carrying the load for those 3 ball clubs.
As Iris went down swinging, strikeout number 7 for Whitney, and the first pitch to Lashley is a called ball, 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Low and away, 2-0. Akron unable to make the tournament this year. Ended the season on a 4-game win streak, but early season losses kind of came back and proved to be the difference for that Akron team this year, as the 2-0s foul off, 2-1 the count. You dropped games at home against Bowling Green and Toledo, or two of them that stuck out in my mind, and you battled Western Michigan one weekend and you dropped one 3-2 and then 5-3 in extra innings. So in those tight games, that Akron team will be good in years to come, but unable to make it here to Firestone. 3-1 the count now to Lashley.
Well, you're absolutely right. I think they turned it around the second half of the season, obviously with the play of some of their freshmen, as Keelia Nestor, who was named to the all-freshman team. I really enjoyed watching her play shortstop. I think she will be, down the road here, one of the best shortstops that we will see in the Mid-American Conference as she goes on into her sophomore, junior, and senior season. As it's across the board in the Mid-American Conference, the freshman classes in each of these programs is just very exciting futures.
And the bloop shot there by Van Wagner will end the inning, as OU unable to cut into the Bronco lead. They trail 4-1.
No runs, no hits, no
after 5.
Michigan errors, 1 runner.
Back here, Firestone Stadium, top of the 6th inning,
for Western Michigan.
as Western Michigan
20 Bree Russell
leads Ohio 4-1. As Bree Russell will lead things off here for the Broncos, and she takes the first pitch ball from Kaylin Clark. Again, the 4-5 matchup here at Firestone, double elimination tournament. The winner advances on to face Ball State tomorrow, and that one's grounded right back to Clark. Her throw to first is in time. One down here in the 6th, back to the top of the order with Meredith Whitney.
Back to the top of the order
2
for
for
the
3
Broncos, number 10, Meredith
on the
Whitney.
afternoon.
Because of the double elimination procedures that are employed in the Mid-American Conference tournament here, the pitching staffs become very important if you happen to drop into the losers bracket. So because you've got to play more games, extend more innings to your staff, so the pitching becomes very important once you, as Toledo has now moved into the bottom of the bracket.
In addition to Kent State.
Kent State now joins them, the loser of this ball game. So it's not uncommon to dig yourself out of the losers bracket, but it's a tough road to hoe once you enter that losers bracket, especially with the quality of play across the board in these teams.
The 2-1. Fly ball center field. That has a chance. It is gone. Solo home run for Meredith Whitney. 5-1. Western Michigan here in the top of the 6th inning. Big run there for the Broncos, giving them a 4-run lead.
Do we begin to start tabulating the votes for MVP already for Meredith Whitney with the win this morning? And now look at what she has done this evening, scoring twice. She's 2 for 4 already with a home run. You can't have a better description of an MVP than what I've just described in Meredith Whitney.
Jennifer Gilbert is going to have to want to say something about that tomorrow night there, Joey. As, again, the winner of this game will go on to face Jennifer Gilbert and those Ball State Cardinals. 5 o'clock tomorrow, the winner of this game will take on Kent State tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pagosi, 0-1 count to her. She'll chop it to the pitcher. Picked up there by Clark, throw the first in time. 2 down here in the 6th inning as Tara Buchanan steps in, and she's walked twice today. Once in the first, once in the fourth.
Number 15, Tara Buchanan.
Well, I look forward to the battle for the MVP spot because that means that these games will be even more exciting than what we've seen so far.
Jessica Simpson may want to say something about that as she and her Red Hawks will want to say something like that as Vasquez picks it up. Throw the first in time. Nice concentration there by Vasquez, who bobbled it a bit but was able to still regain it and get a strong throw over the first in time. That will do it for the Broncos here in the 6th, where they get 1 run on a Meredith Whitney home run and lead 5-1, middle of the 6th inning.
Score, Western Michigan.
Back here at Firestone Stadium, bottom of the 6th inning, as OU trailing Western Michigan 5-1. For all the latest information on the MAC news, notes, and statistics, log on to mac-sports.com, the official website of the Mid-American Conference. Joey, you want to go on there and possibly find out some MAC baseball information? That tournament's coming up here soon as well.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend. The Akron Racers will present the Mid-American Conference Baseball Tournament.
The first pitch to Van Wagenen is a ball on the outside, 1-0 count.
And you will get to see Championship Day from the Mid-American Conference Baseball Tournament later on this month.
The 1-0 is outside, 2-0 count now. Van Wagenen 0 for 3 today. She'll try to get things going here for the Bobcats, trailing by 4 here in the 6th. The pitch. Outside corner, 2-1 the count. Mogart digs in. The 2-1. Popped up on the infield. Actually, trail off in the foul territory, and it's caught by the catcher Carlson. 1 down here as they get Mogart out here in the 6th inning. As Alexis Joseph will step in. She's 0 for 2 today.
Shortstop, number 5, Alexis Joseph.
As the Bobcats trying to get their offense rolling here. Trailing 5-1 to Meredith Whitney. The pitch. Outside corner for strike 1.
Well, Meredith Whitney has collected 7 strikeouts already in this particular game. She really has controlled the offense of the Bobcats very well.
0-1, fouled back, 0-2 the count.
She's been mixing the pitches up, but I think the most effective thing that she has done is location. She has moved the ball around the plate very well and kept them off their game since the very start of this game. But she's been picking up most of the strikeouts in the last 3 innings.
0-2's outside, 1-2. She's given up 3 hits. 2 of those came in the 4th, and a 1 run on the Mogart home run. The 1-2. Outside again, 2-2 the count now. And 7 strikeouts, and has given up 1 walk this afternoon. 2-2. Outside, 3-2 the count now. Got to credit Joseph here for being patient at the plate and forcing the full count.
Well, there's still game to be played, so somebody gets
swung on and missed. Strike 3, strikeout number 8 of the evening for Meredith Whitney. 2 down here in the 6th inning as Lauren Gellerman will step in.
Catcher number 25, Lauren Gellerman.
Whitney has just pretty much taken the bat right out of the Bobcats' hands. She has really done a very, very effective job. I really think location and vertical and horizontal movement of her pitches have just been very good. She's mixed it up. She's gone inside, outside. She's gone, she's got a lot of swinging on what is effectively a rise ball that she has been throwing it for strikes.
The 0-1 pitch. Line drive up the middle, and Gellerman's on with their 2nd hit of the afternoon. 1 on, 2 out here for the Bobcats as Raven King will step in.
Oh, Gellerman just not ready to give up on this. I think she's been swinging the bat very, very well. She gets the double back in the 4th inning and follows it up with the base hit. And here you got King at the plate, and a lot can happen here in a turnaround.
First pitch to King, called strike. 0-1 the count. King 0 for 2 today, has struck out twice. 2 of the 8 strikeouts for Meredith Whitney. The pitch. That one's a bit outside. 1-1 the count now. OU, the 4 seed, trailing the 5 seed. Western Michigan, 5-1 the pitch. Bit low. 2-1 the count now. Vasquez on deck for the Bobcats if they can get to it. The 2-0. 5-ball left center. Russo couldn't find it on the right of the wall. Gellerman rounds 3rd. She will score. King's out with a double here in the 6th inning. 5-2 now Western Michigan leads.
Well, clearly lost the ball in the fly ball. That lot of sun out. I must tell you that the sun out in left field is very difficult. And Russo just really never found that ball from the bat. She was struggling the whole time to try to find where the ball was coming out. Unable to. Went over her head for the double.
The pitch to Vasquez. Inside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count.
You can see Russo, she's been trying to shelter her eyes so she can even see the pitches.
The pitch. Fouled back. 0-2 the count now. So King scores Gellerman on the double. OU trailing 5-2, and it proves how big of a home run that was by Meredith Whitney. The pitch. Low, 1-2 the count. Again, these two teams met earlier in the year, split a doubleheader. The 1-2. Slapped in the left, cut off there by Pagosi. Will throw over the third. Almost got King, who kind of rounded the third base, but was able to get back in time. Runners on the corner. 2 down. And we'll have Hortman stepping in, we believe. You even got to give Pagosi credit there for even trying to get King.
No, she did make a great job of diving to her right to try to even stop the ball and to make a play on it. If she had not stopped the ball and made that play, I'm sure that Gelbman probably would have found, King would have found home plate.
So Melissa Wolf will come in and run for Vasquez. OU trying to get some more speed out there. Hartman 0 for 1 today. She struck out looking back in the 5th. And Western Michigan wants to talk about it. It's a wise thing to do, and while we have that break, we'd like to thank all of the corporate sponsors of the Mid-American Conference as their support for this year's tournament. First Energy, Marathon, Cooper Tires, Holiday Inn, State Farm, and the Cleveland Clinic Sports Health. And the Mid-American Conference wants to thank them for all their support throughout this Mid-American Conference softball tournament.
It's kind of amazing, we battled kind of some clouds all day long, didn't know whether it was going to rain, we had some rain that swirled around us, but as you look out to center field from our view, it's just a beautiful night here at Firestone Stadium.
Absolutely gorgeous, and a point I was going to bring out, though, is there any difficulty at this point? You look at Firestone Stadium, obviously you have the overhead here coming out on the field in shadows. It wasn't that big of a, obviously now they're both coming from in the shadow to the plate. Before there was sun where Whitney was pitching. Is that hard to pick up the ball then in that case?
Well, I think what's hard about it is that the roof over the stadium, when the sun starts to go down, you'll get some kind of piercing vision that the shortstop and the left fielder usually have to deal with, and I think in both situations that's where the problems end up, not really necessarily from the pitcher to the catcher, but they do have a trouble once the ball gets out of the infield into the air because of the sun going down behind the stadium.
Alyssa Wolf at first, Raven King at third. Chelsea Hortman has a 1-1 count on her. 2 down here in the 6th. The pitch. Outside, 2-1 the count now. 12th inning of work today alone for Meredith Whitney. You got to think the arms coming to tire a little bit.
And I think she's pretty used to this kind of pressure and this kind of situation. She's been doing it for a long, long time. So, when an NCAA bid is on the line, you keep
swung on and missed. 2-2 the count.
Yes, she just did. Just come right back and pitch her heart out.
2 on, 2 out. 2-2 count on Hortman. Western Michigan leading 5-2. Hortman digs in. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, count runs full, now 3-2. Wolf probably be going on the pitch, you got to believe. The 4, 5, and 6 in the top of the 7th. for Western Michigan. Looking forward to that. But right now, Western's trying to get out number 3 here in the bottom of the inning. The 3-2. High and away, ball 4, bases loaded. 2 down now, as Elizabeth Iris will step in for the Bobcats.
I think we're going to have a pinch hitter here for the Bobcats.
We'll wait for the official word here. And home plate umpire Lou Davis waiting for his signal. But that batter will be the go-ahead run at the plate. So when I look 5-1 the start of the inning for OU, down 5-1.
Coming to the plate for 127, Timmy Rapay.
Timmy Rapay represents that go-ahead run all of a sudden. So Rapay will pinch hit for Iris, who was 0 for 2 on the day. She'll bat left-handed. The pitch. Bid high, 1-0 the count. Kings at third, Wolf's at second, Hortman at first. OU's already got 1 run in here in the 6th inning as they trail 5-2. The pitch. Outside, 2-0 the count now. Winner of this game will face Ball State tomorrow at 5. The loser plays at 11 a.m. tomorrow against Penn State, who fell earlier today to Central Michigan. Central plays Bowling Green later on tonight. Rapay back into the batter's box. The 2-0. That catches the corner. 2-1 the count now.
Well, this is a critical at-bat for OU. Base hit usually will send 2 to the plate, which would make this a 1-run ball game, perhaps going in to the 7th inning.
The 2-1. Check swing. She went around. 2-2 the count. Outfield playing pretty in for the Broncos here for Rapay. So you gotta believe it can get, if it gets into the gaps, Joey, it could score all 3. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, outside corner. Whitney gets out of it with her 9th strikeout of the evening. 5-2 Western Michigan after 6.
In the bottom of the 6th inning, 1 run.
Back here at Firestone Stadium. Western Michigan, the 5 seed, leading OU, the 4 seed, 5-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Ian Tack alongside Joey Arietta bringing you the play-by-play action here. All part of the MAC Digital Network. And Joey, thanks to you and the Akron Racers for being able to put this tournament, these web streams on air. The pitch. And That will be a called strike to Gracie Barstead, who is 1 for 3 today.
We've been very proud of our association with the Mid-American Conference and particularly this tournament. Very excited to be able to bring to the families across the country relatives who might have, daughters or nieces or whatever they're playing, in one of these at one of these universities here in Ohio and in the Michigan area.
Ground ball up the middle and through. Barstead has her second hit of the evening, and a common theme this afternoon, Joey, Western Michigan with the leadoff batter on, as Courtney Russo will step in.
Well, there's no question what Western Michigan has done today is not only they lead off and get their runners on, they move their runners around and they score. They're not leaving runners on bases. Unfortunately, Ohio University has just not taken advantage of the opportunities that they have had, although they have not been very many opportunities, with the excellent job really done today by Meredith Whitney, both this morning and now late this evening.
0-1 count on Russo. The pitch. Inside 1-1 the count. Western scored 3 in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the sixth. Give them their 5 runs. OU scored 1 in the fourth and 1 in the sixth for their 2. The pitch. Smacked in the left center, and that will get all the way to the wall. Barstead round second will go to third. They're going to send her home. There will be no play at the plate. Actually, throw it home. Here comes Russo in the third. She's safe there. 6-2 Western Michigan here in the 7th inning.
Well, there was no stopping Barstead. As soon as she hit the bag at second, she saw that ball that just split the seam between center field and left field, and she just knew that she was turning the bag at 3 and going home.
So Russo advances the third on the
Second
throw.
baseman, number 13, Diana Patterson.
Kind of shocked Joseph even went at it, but you're down 5-2. Kind of desperate to try to get some outs there. So nobody out, runner at third. The pitch to Patterson. Inside for ball 1, 1-0 the count.
Well, the throw that came into the plate was pretty high, and
got even Gellerman to get a glove on it.
Yeah, Gellerman had to really kind of bring it down before she could even make a throw, and then it was just a little bit too late at third.
The 1-0 is outside. 2-0 the count now.
Even with the strong arm that she has, it's just that she had just to bring the ball down back into herself in order to be able to rifle it back to third base, and it just was not in time.
Coaching staff for OU wants to talk to their infield about this. Again, 2-0 count now on Patterson. 6-2, Western Michigan on top of OU.
I must say that, I should say that from the OU coaching corner, Sharonda McDonald, who is one of the assistant coaches with the Ohio University team, is a member of the 2012 Akron Racers. She will be playing in her 3rd season for my team, and couldn't ask for a better representative of our program than Sharonda McDonald.
And the Racers season gets underway here on June 7th with the regular season. They have an exhibition on the 4th against the top collegiate softball players in Northeast Ohio. All information about the Akron Racers, go on to akronracers.org. Akron Racers, it's more than a game, it's an experience. 2-0 is a called strike, 2-1 the count now. Again, all sorts of promotions going on throughout the year. The biggest one for the Racers, Title IX night on June 23rd. 2-1's outside, 3-1 the count now.
We are really looking forward to that night because this is a night set aside to honor the women who have excelled in our game in Northeast Ohio, and there is a ton of young women and folks that have been involved.
Chopped underneath the glove of Joseph, gets in the left center. Runner scores from third, 7-2 Western Michigan now in the RBI single by Deanna Patterson.
You got to hand it to this Bronco offense. They've ripped out 11 hits, and all 11 of those hits were hard hit shots. To pick up the 7 runs that they have, have tallied on the scoreboard, to come out in the first inning and post the 3 runs right away for Meredith Whitney to get working on their just aggressiveness throughout from first pitch all the way through to where they are now in the 7th inning.
They'll have a courtesy runner out there. Jenny Roan will come in and run for Patterson. So 2 runners in, still nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. And swung on and missed by Alyssa Hanshew. 0-1 the count on her. She's 1 for 3 of the day with a double back in the 3rd inning that scored Courtney Russo.
For OU at this point, I think they've got to stay focused, try to begin to play their game.
Chop to third, picked up by Vasquez. Throw to second is in time to get Roan. And 1 down here in the 7th inning, as Cheddar will step in for the Broncos.
Center fielder, number 2, Jennifer Cheddar.
Cheddar singled in the 2nd and was retired in the 3rd and the 5th. So 1 for 3 of the day. The pitch from Clark. Inside, ball 1, 1-0 count. A very big offensive explosion here by Western Michigan. They have scored 15 runs in the 2 games here today. 8 in the first, 7 in the 2nd game here. The pitch from Clark. That one's drilled in the left and will drop for a base hit. Throw to second, not in time to get Hanshew. So Cheddar's on with the single. First and second one out now for Bree Russell.
Well, you got to hand it to the Bronco office. Their aggressiveness from the very start of this tournament, when they came out and posted the 8 runs against Toledo to shut that down, a game down in 6, and now here to come up with 12 hits and 7 runs. Like you said, 15 runs. Pretty impressive for the first 2 games of this tournament.
And we'll have changes, a pinch hitter and a new pitcher for OU when we come back from break. 7-2 Western Michigan here in the top of the 7th inning. Back here at Firestone Stadium, Ian Tank alongside Joey Arrieta, top of the 7th inning. 1 down as Western Michigan is leading Ohio 7-2 here in the MAC tournament, and Laura McCleary will come back into the circle for OU. And we have a pinch hitter for Western Michigan. Miranda McDonald will step in, the right-handed batter, with runners on first and second, and again 1 down. The pitch fouled back, 0-1 the count to McDonald. Barstead led off the inning with a single. She scored on a Russo double where Russo advanced to third on the throw to home. And then Patterson single that scored Russo. She has a pinch runner. She had a pinch run for Rome came in and pinch run for Patterson. And they retired her at second on at least a handshoe sacrifice. But handshoe now at second. Cheddar at first on a single. 12 hits today by Western Michigan here in game 2. And that one will be fouled off. Count stays at 0-2. So it just as we talked in the break there, Joey, just an incredible offensive day for Western Michigan. And a lot of momentum on that side of the ball going into tomorrow. And you know you're going to have to bring the bats against an explosive Ball State Cardinal team.
Well, Western Michigan has just attacked every pitch today. As we discussed, the shots that they have hit have been shots that have gone in the gap, but they have gotten out of the infield very quick, line drives, and really very, very good hitting. But it looks like the mindset of the Western Michigan players, when they step in the batter's box, they are determined and very aggressive.
2-2 the count now. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back, so count stays at 2-2. A lot of fans rolling in here to Firestone for game 2 of the night.
Okay, well, we got plenty of room, so we'll slide over and make more room.
Popped up foul, and the count stays at 2-2. As we look below us, the 2-seeded Miami Redhawks coming into Firestone here to probably scout Bowling Green and Central Michigan to see who they'll play tomorrow night. So 2-2, the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. McCleary gets a big strikeout there. McDonald goes down swinging. Back to the top of the order, and Meredith Whitney, who's 3 for 4 today, 2 singles and a big home run in the 6th inning that has helped to give Western a 7-2 lead. The pitch. That one's high. We'll another count. And
well, she's basically done it all today.
Yes.
She's turned in a very, very good overall performance. She is a tremendous athlete.
1-0's on the inside corner, 1-1 the count. Cheddar at first, Handshoe at second. 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. The pitch. The Whitney popped up. Let's stay into fair territory at will. And Gellerman gets out number 3. Western scores 2 more here in the 7th. And they lead 7-2
For Western Michigan,
the middle of the 7th inning.
7th inning, 2 runs.
Back here, Firestone Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning, as Ohio down to their last 3 outs here at Firestone as they trail Western Michigan 7-2. Again, winner will face Ball State tomorrow night at 5 here at Firestone. The loser will face
Leading off the bottom
Kent
of the
State
7th inning
tomorrow
for
at
Ohio,
11
left
a.m.
fielder number 10, Aaron Lashley.
As Aaron Lashley will lead things off for the Bobcats here in the 7th inning.
Just a great performance by the Broncos. I mean, you have to hand it to them. Offensively, defensively, they played the game as well as any team can play it. Earlier today, did the same thing against Toledo, and it's come out here swinging and has just done a very, very good job of playing and really defending the situation against the OU, because OU is a very, very powerful offensive team in their own right, and they've only given up, Whitney's only given up 5 hits and 2 runs.
The pitch outside corner for strike 1, 1-1 the count to Lashley. Lashley 1 for 1 today, walked in the 5th, singled in the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch. Looped for third base line and foul, as Barstead unable to get that. So game number 4 tonight, Bowling Green taking on Central Michigan. That winner will face Miami. 1-2. Slap foul down the third base line again. Count stays at 1-2. Loser of that second game of the night will face Toledo, who fell 8-0 earlier today to this Western Michigan Bronco team. The pitch. High and away, 2-2 the count now. Nine strikeouts this evening for Meredith Whitney, helping Western Michigan to a 7-2 lead. The 1-2's fouled off again. We'll stay at 1-2. Meredith's done that in the circle. She's gone 3 for 5 at the plate. Just as you talked about, Joey, her versatility all throughout this Western Michigan team to help them out in so many ways. The 1-2, slap foul. We'll stay at 1-2 again.
Well, when your pitcher can provide you with the kind of offense that she can deliver, she's the leadoff hitter for this team.
Yeah.
That's pretty commendable for a young lady who is really, her and Jessica Simpson, probably the 2 best in the conference.
The 1-2 is high. Count now actually at 3-2. Correction of that with the scoreboard. So 3-2 the count now on Lashley. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 10 for Meredith Whitney. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Back to the top of the order.
For Ohio, the center fielder number 15, Jillian Van Wagner.
Jillian Van Wagner stepping in. She's 0 for 3 today.
Whitney's just turning into a phenomenal performance. If you go back to a year ago in the 2011 Mid-American Conference Tournament, you saw a very similar Meredith Whitney just steamroll this Bronco team right to the championship game.
1-0 count. The pitch. Bunted to third, picked up there by Barstead's got to hurry the throw, not in time. So Van Wagner's on with her first hit of the evening. 1 on, 1 out. As Brooke Morgart will step in. She's 1 for 3 today with a home run in the 4th.
Well, you got Van Wagner, who's got 30 stolen bases in 37 attempts. If anything can, any wheels can get you going, it might be hers.
You gotta believe she may be go. Allie Carlson's gotta be ready to go behind the plate. The pitch. Fly ball in the left coming on is Russo. She'll bring it in. 2 down now here in the 7th inning. OU down to the last out. And Alexis Joseph will step in for the Bobcats.
And I know you Bobcat fans out there are probably looking at the scoreboard and wish it was a little bit different than what you're seeing. But, don't count your team out. This is a very, very outstanding ball club, this 2012 Ohio University Bobcats.
Fouled off. 0-1 the count.
This is a group that has the right attitude, and their coaching staff and just the enthusiasm that this unit has could get them into that losers bracket and move themselves right back up into the championship contention.
The 0-1. Fly ball, left field line, foul. 0-2 the count now. So OU down to the last strike here, and as you said, with the amount of offense that they have, you can't count OU out of this tournament at all, but they're going to need the pitching to really come forward for them. And the 0-2's outside starting tomorrow morning against Kent State. Again, that game will be at 11 a.m. if things hold here with a 1-2 count on Alexis Joseph.
Well, it's a time for both teams to regroup and really see what you're made of.
The pitch outside, 2-2.
You know, Kent State's been struggling as of late, although I really do believe they played a very good ball game today on the short end of a 2-1 loss to Central Michigan. This particular situation with OU, very uncharacteristic of their performances.
Fly ball short left, and it's caught by the shortstop, Pagosi. Western Michigan moves on to take on Ball State tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock as they defeat Ohio University 7-2. A dominant day, a dominant performance by the Western Michigan Broncos, both in the circle by Meredith Whitney and at the plate with all sorts of hits, power hits all throughout today's game, scoring 7 runs in game 2.
Meredith Whitney, MVP of this game without a doubt, but I tell you, I look forward to tomorrow night at 5 o'clock to see the confrontation between Ball State and Western Michigan. That is going to be quite a game to watch. Offensively, both of those ball clubs bring in a lot of power, a lot of offense, a lot of attack, and the very gritty mindset of those two programs to meet head-to-head tomorrow night at 5.
Again, Ohio now falls into the losers bracket as they will take on Kent State tomorrow at 11 a.m. here at Firestone Stadium. And as I said, Western Michigan taking on Ball State tomorrow, 5 o'clock here at Firestone Stadium. So thank you for all those that have watched and listened. For Joey Arrieta, I'm Ian Tank. Western Michigan moves on by defeating OU 7-2. Have a good one, folks.
From Central Michigan, Chelsea Delamior.